The Simply Successful program offers stress management tools for the lifespan, so small children, adolescents, or adults can be simply successful.
Hello, I'm Deb Timmerman.
And I'm Beth Tuttle. Welcome to the Simply Successful program. We teach stress management skills that build resilient kids, successful families, and thriving communities.
Our guest today is Donna Tashjian.
Hello.
Hi, Donna. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Donna's business is Vibrant Living. She is a transformational life and health coach. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Donna, can you explain to our listeners what a life and health coach would do?
As a life and health coach, I help people achieve things that they may not be able to achieve on their own, providing support and a proven program that provides success for them to be able to get there.
So you're like an independent third party helping them figure out where they are and maybe where they're stuck?
Yes. Every person has something that they're wanting to achieve, all of my clients, and helping them find out what that is, why that's important to them, and how to get there.
You started your coaching business around health coaching, and we've talked about why you branched out to including life coaching. Can you tell us what made you become more broad?
I had started with health coaching and had received my education and certification with that. And I noticed that the women coming to me, what woman doesn't say she wants to lose weight? We would come to me wanting to lose weight. And as I would coach them, I would discover that it wasn't really about the weight, that there was other things that were going on in their life, the way that they were believing about themselves or circumstances in their life, and it had more to do with their whole life as a whole. So I wanted to be able to support the woman as a whole and not just deal with, I want to lose 20 pounds or whatever it may be.
Can you give us an example of maybe one of your clients that came in and they thought it was the weight, but it ended up being their belief system? What would that look like?
Which one to choose? I had one woman who came to me saying she wanted to lose weight, and she was actually pretty skeptical. She's like, well, what could a health coach do? I've tried all kinds of diets, every diet out there. I always lose the weight and then I gain it back. So what would you be any different? And she wasn't mean about it, just truthful. Like, how could this make a difference? And she was amazed going through the program that I have developed on how your belief systems makes it different, how your body actually functions, whether it retains weight, whether it loses weight, how it affects you on your job, how you sleep, which again affects everything else. So through the process of coaching with me, she not only lost weight, but her business grew. And she had better relationships because she wasn't irritable. She was eating food that her body and discovering what foods actually worked best with her body. Through that whole process, everything was affected. So that's why I'm working with life coaching, because our health is important, but our whole life is impacted by what we believe about ourselves and about our circumstances around us.
Do you find that most of those beliefs that they come up with are from their childhood, that they picked up when they were really young?
Always. It is amazing what we take as circumstances that happen to us. We're a little kid playing in the floor and mom comes in and she yells at us. And we might make that mean that something's wrong with us as a child. That mom doesn't like it when I do this, or something's wrong with me, I'm making mom upset. And so therefore I withdraw. Let's pretend. But mom was upset about something that happened at work. It had nothing to do with me as a child, but I made this mean something was wrong with me. And then that begins to carry through my whole childhood into my adulthood. And when anybody yells, I do this. Or when there's stress, I do this. This is the way I cope. This is the way I manage. And so, yes, our beliefs start very young on how we cope as an adult.
And as a parent, we do the very best we can
Yes,
in the moment.
always.
And we don't realize that what we're
That is
saying
correct.
to our child has an impact.
That is correct.
And that child has the ability to perceive
Yes.
our message and
Correct.
internalize it.
Yes, we don't. And so you guys working with children to try to catch this early, to help them to be able to cope with things in a constructive way. And then me on the other end, I'm getting them after they're already adults, helping them re-look at their childhood beliefs and look at them in a new light. So together, we're amazing.
It is amazing when we start to work with a child. We actually end up looking at the whole family
Correct.
unit and how that child interacts in that unit with siblings and with parents and how they take that on. And as a child, I can recall one of those limiting beliefs. I stuck my finger in the butter dish when I was hungry while I was waiting for Sunday dinner, and my mom just screamed at me, "Deborah Ann, get your dirty little finger out of that butter dish. No wonder you're fat." Oh, stayed with me forever. Still with me today. I have to constantly remind myself, I am not that 4-year-old girl getting screamed at. I'm an adult. So I can really relate
Yes.
to those childhood beliefs. Do you work with a typical aged woman who comes or who looks for life coaching or weight coaching?
Most of my clients are 40 and over. We tend to begin to look at our lives in a new way when we hit around 40, but that doesn't mean I don't have clients that younger, but typically around 40, there's some major transitions. Children are changing, jobs are changing, marriages maybe having some rocky road, kids leaving home, all kinds of things begin to occur. You may have teenagers. That's a whole nother transition. But all these different parts that are occurring. So generally it's women 40 and over.
So you get to age 40 and you have that flashback and do that lifeline review and go, holy moly, this isn't what I expected at all. I don't want to do this for 40 more years.
Pretty much.
I better get with the program and figure something out.
And we usually become, maybe have a little bit more time or resources, or maybe something is traumatic occurring that causes you to seek out help. But all of that, I would encourage the sooner the better, but any time is great. It doesn't take a lot to make a big difference. One of my favorite phrases is small hinges move big doors. It's the small things that we think that we believed that shouldn't matter, and they matter. And so they really can make big differences in our life when we shift small things.
It's interesting. I had a meeting with an anti-bullying expert on Friday, and he was talking to me about his childhood and about having dinner recently at a restaurant with his family and someone dropping a dish in the background. And he said that he nearly came up out of his chair and upended the table because he had a flashback to what happened at the family dinner table when he was younger. He's now in his 30s,
Yes.
has had counseling and coaching and done all these things, and he still is impacted with that. How would you help your clients work through some of that recurring stuff that comes up?
That's really hard to answer in a couple minutes. It would depend on each particular case. But again, one of the I had stated before is what you make that mean about you and how that occurs. Forgiveness is huge. There's almost always forgiveness. Transformation comes usually by letting go of something and embracing something new. So there's usually something along that line that they need to let go of some belief, they need to let go of unforgiveness, or something along the anger, fear, and so that they can embrace something new.
That's funny. He kind of mentioned the same thing. We talked about these things that happen to us sometimes being like an onion and there's layers.
There is totally
He said
layers.
when he's totally rested and he's all good, it doesn't bother him so much. But that particular day,
Yes.
he was really tired, had been running, and it surfaced. And he explained that previous to being aware of that belief, he would have curled up for 3 days
Yes.
and went, woe is me.
Yes.
And at that moment, he was able to acknowledge and process it and say, I'm okay, I'm safe, I can move on.
forward.
So you can move forward.
Transformation from traumatic events is totally like an onion, and it comes in layers. And when people continue to react, maybe in an even deeper way, they think they're going backwards. But it is actually moving forward because we're getting closer to the root when you actually have more emotions and being able to rationally process it. But you actually have a lot of emotions, like he almost upended the table, even though he actually rationally proposed the whole thing. So it's totally, that's the analogy I use all the time.
Many of us grow up in homes where there was traumatic things that happened, and we don't think of them in that way because it was just how
it was normal.
Our home was, and it was our state of normal. For those of you who've listened to our other programs, you know about the Adverse Childhood Experience survey and the work of Drs. Felitti and Anda, and how those childhood traumas stay with you forever unless you deal with them and unless you process them. Donna would be a great person to work through that with. She obviously is very knowledgeable in what she does and in her craft, but I think that there is a wonderful ability to connect with her because she's so down to earth and just is like one of us. She's just Donna, and she truly cares. How do your coaching relationships continue after you finish a coaching package or you meet the goals?
And what does, like, time frame? Someone's probably listening thinking, how long will this take to coach with you? Is there certain time frames or that you work around?
My average coaching program is for 90 days. But that is flexible depending upon the person's schedule. 90 days would include 12 sessions with me. They could be every week, or we could take it 6 months and do it every other week. I'm really flexible with people's schedule and what they're able to commit to because everybody's busy. So it would just depend on that. And to answer your question on how they would continue or what they would do, I give them the level of support that they're needing. Perhaps they want to talk once a month. Perhaps they want to check in once a quarter, depending upon what they might want to do to just stay in touch. I stay available for my clients to give them any support they need after they have finished the official, if you will, program.
I love that you work with people on their time frame because if it's too much of a time investment, it just becomes one more thing.
Correct. And it's
it
overwhelming.
Becomes a stressor instead of something that's supposed to help you. Where could our listeners find you, Donna?
They could visit my website, which is the letter I, and then vibrantliving.com all together, or they could give me a call. My number is 616-916-1432, and I'm also on Facebook.
Okay, can you repeat that phone number one more time?
616-916-1432, and it's vibrantliving.com.
We have an absolute abundant amount of resources on our blog page. You can find those at simplysuccessfulprogram.com/blog, BLOG. Our exercises are meant to help stop stress in the moment. Donna goes deeper and really looks at those barriers and those things that are causing stress in your life and helps you make decisions about them. So you can start with our tools. If you feel like you need to really take a look and do a deep dive, you can contact Donna. We are so glad that you came on our show today.
Thank you, Donna.
We love the work you do.
Thank you.
Donna's also a fellow Women's Life member. We love to support them. So again, you can find Donna's information at the letter I, vibrantliving.com, or you can call her at
616-916-1432, and I'm on Facebook.
You can find us at simplysuccessfulprogram.com, or you can give us a call at 616-528-0366. Thanks for joining us.